So you click start record, and then you click start broadcast, and then you say,
welcome to Shenanigans Live, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, okay. Is it recording?
I think so.
Awesome.
Hello, welcome to Shenanigans Live. A little different setup tonight as Katie has some boards to do.
Yes, I'm going to be storyboarding on the Cintiq here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all crammed behind the desk.
So we're all behind the desk, but this is kind of cool. This is kind of newsy-ish. I could bang my notes and give you the updates. I feel like I'm combining my two favorite news things. News with that and the old Paperboy with the hat running around going, Extra! So Paperboy News
it's
would
like
be...
the Paperboy's dreams came true.
It's like the Paperboy News Network here on Shenanigans Live. Welcome to this Wednesday, March...
Full moon.
7th. Thank you for your lunar calendar. March 7th. It feels like spring outside, man.
It is so nice.
It is so nice outside. I was inside all day in front of a computer, so I didn't know until I got outside. But here we are. How you guys doing? If you want to chat live on the show, you can chat with Katie right here, who's going to open the chat any second now.
How do I do that?
Well, there's a thing up there that says pop out the chat. Lower, lower. There you go.
This?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Man, not being at the helm is weird. I'm just kind of...
Yeah.
I'm like backseat show running.
All right,
like a producer.
Black Ice Angel.
Saying hello with a question mark.
Creepy
Oh, you want to bring that back out?
Chris the host.
No, go to the bottom, and there's pictures of peoples, and it tells you who's here. Okay. Chris the host saying creepy porpoise story time.
There we go.
I don't want to keep breaking your heart, buddy. But something seems to go wrong every week. So Katie's kind of preoccupied. I'll give you the backstory. And by that, I'm not going to give you the backstory.
Unless I'm drawing along.
Well, Katie's kind of preoccupied on the Cintiq right now, taking up all this space. And that means we can't, like the creepy porpoise story would have to be on that screen, and then I'd be drawn over here. And I'm hurting my neck already just watching the chat.
We'll wait till, I actually have a record.
What if we save it for the 25th anniversary episode?
Do that. That would be really
because that's coming up. This is like episode 22. If you don't know, we've been doing this for a while, man. This is like we're getting into our 20s.
Idness on Twitter says Katie's back.
Idness is on the Twitter. Katie, what do you mean? Katie never left.
I was here last week.
Katie was just on Skype. If you joined us last week, check out last week's episode.
I had a sore throat.
She has yeah. She talked a little high pitch. And she had to meet up with John Lasseter quickly.
Yeah.
So if you guys want me to grab my attention with your chats, make sure they stand out because they're kind of over there. So it's kind of like I'll see, I'm like, whoa, that's a good chat. I should read that.
Here, I'll have it open here so you can take a look.
Yeah. But anyway.
Aw, Chris the host is sad.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. But hey, it's like everything in life. All good things get better when they take longer to happen.
All things?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, all right, let's put it this way. So, you're at the house and the mom is all like, oh, hey, I'm making a cake. And you're like, rock on. And then the mom's just like, cake's ready. And you're like, oh, well, so much for anticipation. But if it's like, I'm making a cake, it's ready in 3 hours, go to the field and have an adventure. And then you're like, by the time this adventure is solved, I'm going to have a cake.
That is awesome.
So all things are better with time. See? That's proved my theory. Hardcore likes. Christine, I just meant I get to put off my Kingdom Hearts retrospective longer. Yeah, I guess you can put it that way too.
Just holding that over your head.
Semantics. I don't know. You better hurry up on that because some other video is probably bound to go out and do it before you because everyone's getting on these video game retrospectives these days. If you follow the works of my countryman, I just forgot his name. He's an Irish reporter who works at GameSpot UK, and he used to do this thing called Bluff's Guide, but that was already an existing name for books for how to date women. Bluffer's Guide. So instead he changed the name of his series to Escape from Mount Stupid. His name is O'Dwyer. Something O'Dwyer.
I like that name. It reminds me of that show with the magical kids.
Yeah.
Who have to escape from that mountain.
Which one was it?
Yeah. Escape from which mountain?
That's what I keep thinking it's like. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to be louder than you, so I'm going to move the mic closer to Katie.
Oh, okay.
Because Katie doesn't speak up during this show.
I don't really have too much.
Danny O'Dwyer, that's his name. Really funny show. And he does retrospectives on everything. So check him out. Look for Escape from Mount Stupid on YouTube or at GameSpot. He did a 2-parter on Final Fantasy, so Chris, watch out. He's nipping at your heels, buddy. Watch out. Let's just quick look at the chat before we get into our regularly scheduled program that I have lined up for you. Let's see. Her Black Ice Angel says, my stepmom was going to make cookies, but I went back home before they were done.
Oh.
See? And then just threw them all away. It's like, you weren't gone long enough.
Have more adventures.
Or if you mean by back home, you mean like you left that house. That could work either way, actually. In our theory, it's like, you went back home and you got home too early, and it's like, dude, you didn't finish your adventure. I'm still making cookies. Now, no more. Go
It's
sleep.
like one of those,
no dinner. Or he like left.
Like the hero's myth journey thing. It's like you find the mentor and the turncoat, and then it's like you come back.
The goddess in distress and the guy who turns out to be your father, and you defeat them all. And then it's like cookies.
Yeah, that's exactly like the end of
the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Well, that's an English class. You'll find out in 101.
You know what? The sad thing, we never really did that. We touched on it a little bit at Sheridan, but sadly, we had a story class, but we didn't have too much of story analysis. It was just kind of watching movies, which is good learning too.
No, if you don't talk about it, it's not.
Yeah, if you don't talk about it.
Like the problem is, if you watch a movie once, you watched a movie. You got to watch it like 2 or 3 times, and then start ripping it up and being like, "This is this and that is that" and stuff. And that's why we've been posting around. There was a recent TED Talk by Pixar
Andrew Stanton.
aficionado Andrew Stanton.
I love that he starts off with like a raunchy
joke,
and then everything's very family friendly.
It's all about storytelling, and it's really excellent. I really enjoyed a really good talk.
He had really good pointers.
And basically, as we harked on, John Carter, which hasn't actually come out yet, from what I didn't know. I thought it came out because everyone was talking about it. He did a presentation talking about John Carter, not a lot about it, and Finding Nemo and.
Toy Story,
bit of Toy Story, Wall-E. Like he was showing clips, but he's basically talking about storytelling. And I'm not going to say his final words because you should watch it yourself to gain that. But basically, really good talk. Check it out. TED Talk, Andrew Stanton, stories, all that good stuff. There'll be links to some other things there too. They have like Abrams in the mystery box.
Yep.
If you've watched that, he's like basically like, well. That's not his voice, is it? How's he talk? He's like, I'm Jay. I can't do Abrams' voice. What's he sound like?
I don't know.
He wears glasses.
Yeah.
And he's like, mystery.
I can bring it up, but I was kind of just like watching you develop it.
I'm trying to figure out his character. Some people's voices are so normal, they're hard to mimic.
Yeah, I think he's like that.
He's too normal. He's like, mystery box. J.J. Abrams on TED Talk.
Normal at all.
Okay, I'm not going to bother. He doesn't talk like all my favorite people do. But he doesn't talk about suspense and disappointing everyone by the 5th season. So, anyway. That's why he jumped ship early.
Yeah.
He's like, 2 seasons, done. TED Talk. Boom. Clap, clap, clap. He's a smart man, that guy. I haven't watched any of the recent show, the Alcatraz business, because he's got like Dr. Alan Grant in it.
Yeah,
and
it's like
Hurley.
everybody's on it.
It's the best show. Oh, I haven't watched that at all. Funniest though is Dr. What's his name? Sam Neill?
Yes.
He was in that vampire movie as like the lead financial vampire in a suit.
That's right.
And he was so silly looking with
What
the little
movie
teeth.
was that?
It wasn't Daybreakers, it was like
Yeah, that was for the
Night Breakers
that
or
was
like
silly.
Vampire Day of Night.
Yeah, who was
It was something like that. It was a
the
weird
premise?
movie.
It was you could turn back from a vampire.
No, that was the conclusion.
By driving your car off a bridge or something.
You're like,
In
what?
reverse vampirism.
Yeah, well, it was actually pretty funny how to reverse vampirism. But anyway.
That was it. It was the entire society's vampires.
Yeah.
And then
And so they sell blood.
the guy hunts down humans, but he becomes friends with humans.
Yeah, of course. And there's a girl. Sam Neill played a vampire. Yeah, he did, Black Ice Angel. It's silly. I warn you, it's silly. And his own daughter's still human. Or not.
Does she do
I don't
reversal
know.
stuff?
It's one of those weird movies that's kind of like Equilibrium. Like every movie's trying to be nowadays.
Oh, yeah, I was just
Like Equilibrium, there's the one with, what's his face? Batman. And he knows Gung Fu.
Batface.
Gung Kata.
Yeah,
which is
I
like he
heard
stands
about
still
that
and goes
because
with guns and stuff. And it's like, whoa.
I forget. Gunkata is like you're sword fighting with guns.
No, you're gunfighting with guns.
Okay.
So you're like, punch, boom, 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 block, boom, 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 boom,
You like slap a bullet out of the
Yeah.
sky.
Something like that. Like, a guy shoots a bullet at you, and you open your cartridge, catch it, reverse.
I don't think you can do that because once you fire it, it's like.
Well, then you add
Can
some,
you
you add
reshoot a
some
bullet?
extra gunpowder on it. You're like,
go-
all right, it's like this: bullet, unload, catch, powder, shake, close, shoot.
He's got the musket thing.
He starts cocking the musket. It's just like
Gun
reversal.
Gun Kata was created by John Carter during the gold rush.
Something like that. But a lot of movies, and also to tie into that, like I started listening to 1984. There you go.
Oh, I remember that. I remember your Facebook status.
And it's a lot like all these. It's basically
what was it you said? I know how this is gonna end.
Well, no, I said I know how 1984 ends. It's 1985, and I'm born. Ta-da!
Yeah, it's like that's exactly.
So it's like there you go. That's the story. I know how this story's gonna wrap up nicely. It's me.
Things aren't so bad after all.
I'm born. Because I was born in 1985. Heather's online. What the? What? You never watched this show.
Weird.
None of our family watches this show.
Because she finished her deadlines.
Did you finish your Oh, yeah, you did. If you guys want to check it out, our third partner in rhyme,
she says,
though we don't sing or rap.
Well, Mom watches.
Mom watches.
Hi, Mom.
And Heather comments. Heather just finished up this little Flash animation that she put on her YouTube.
So cute.
Now, is the point of the course just to make an animation or to make the video viral? Because I remember someone was telling me one of their courses was the goal was to make a viral video.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's like, if that's the case, we gotta promote Heather's video and like friggin' get some views
it's not
up on that.
Animation, it's a social media thing.
Yeah, it's like you gotta get this out there, make sure it gets views, and it was just to make a Flash animation. Okay, well, go to Heather's YouTube. I don't know what it is. Tell me what it is. Probably.
Is it Hespel?
Using Bone Tool Tweens. Oh, is that the new? It's Hespel on YouTube. Look up her video. It's called like Video Games, or Game Over. Or it's about video games. It's pretty funny. It's cute. It's got a creepy face. Game Over. It's called. That was reading the chat there. Everything is Hespel. I was gonna say something really important. Bone Tool. So wait, which version of Flash is Heather using? Because like, there's all these new things now, right? Like Bone Tool, which I never had.
I haven't used Bone Tool.
What about camera? Is there a camera in Flash now? Kind of like After Effects.
CS5.
Ooh, so you're right.
I don't even know what I used at work.
I feel like they might have integrated a bunch of stuff from like After Effects, because After Effects introduced the puppet tool, which was phenomenal. It wasn't a bone structure, but it allowed you to distort stuff a lot more organically than just like hinges. Like my puppet man who's like, "Hi everyone." Now it's like, everybody.
I mean, you could.
Creepier.
In Flash, though, you can make things look more smooth and classically animated if you actually drew panels.
Like a lot of the animation you posted either to me. I forget the name. It was the two restaurants were fighting. There was two girls. One was like fast food takeout, and one was like dim sum.
It was one of those Katsuka players.
Yeah, that Katsuka player has some crazy stuff. Like there's music videos with like a guy and a girl getting out of the club and driving into the country, and there's that really weird music video that's like
with the pool?
They go to the pool and it ends with Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And she's like, ah! And you're like, whoa.
That was crazy.
Whoa. That was some craziness. Let's take a quick look at the chat. What's going on? No. Puppet Master, Creation Dance, Cthulhu. Now they're all talking about it. Fun with Cthulhu. Yeah, there's some crazy music videos out there. Speaking of which, we already talked about. Did I talk about? Yeah, I talked about the Gorillaz music video that just came out.
Did you do that last week?
A little bit. I think I just brought it up. Really interesting. It's all like real footage, and then they just put like the 3D characters in, but like they suit really nicely. Like it's one of the best. It's very subtle because it's like they're not really doing a terrible amount of much, doing little things, but they don't look out of place in that world. I don't know if it's like they colorize the footage or something, but it's really well done. Like all the new Gorillaz songs didn't catch on with me yet. Maybe after a while it will, because like I remember I first heard Dare, and I was like, he's trying too hard. And I'm like, Dare's awesome after like the fifth time.
Love it.
Yeah, now I'm like singing it and dancing. Like maybe, I don't know if it's the same with I liked Windmill. I don't know what it's called, but I like the Windmill Bridge. But like a lot of the, Feel Good. Feel Good.
It's a good karaoke one.
You know, those are all good. But this song hasn't caught me just yet. But the visuals are really nice. And like I feel like Murdoch has had a really abusive relationship with 2D.
Well, I mean, when you read the backstory of the characters, the whole reason he's got black dots for eyes are like because he's lost them because of that.
Yeah. But like at least in the old days they had fun together.
Yeah.
Like they rode on the road and they magic. But now it's like he's just a dick.
Yeah.
And it's like, you feel uncomfortable by the end of the video. You're like, why is he so mean? Poor 2D. All he wants is peace in the world and concept songs.
Yeah.
Something like that. Jumping in the chat. Actually, has anything happened in the Twitter yet recently?
Oh, Twitter.
Let's see if we've been ignoring anyone.
It's Idness.
All right, what's up with Idness?
My English class in college, all we did was watch movies. It was awesome. Am I the only one that tweets you guys? Yes.
Yes, you are, Idness.
right now.
You are the only one who tweets us.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, like analyzing films and.
I do. It reminds me of back in school. I had a 7 a.m. film class.
Goody.
And it was hard because I had to take 2 buses to get out there. And, you have to get up extra early to make sure you get there by 7 o'clock class. But we'd get there and it would be just like, okay, we're going to watch Iron Giant today. And they just play it.
You have your coffees and you're just
like... talk about it. And I'm like, well, I already watched this.
So was it film club or film class? Did you go to the right room?
It was a class, but...
it's like, all right, tomorrow's movie's going to be...
I'm not a proponent for skipping classes, but like when final film time was coming around, I was like, I'm not going to this class anymore.
Well, like, I think... Even
I think it was kind of like it was a way to watch cartoons that you might not have access to, but with the internet and just
you should by now.
I know you should, and like our upbringing.
Well, I feel like one of the things he touched on at the TED Talk, because he brought up some of the Toy Story, like how things would have been originally, like because Woody was more of a dick.
Well, they wanted to make it edgy.
Well, yeah, but Woody was like they wanted him to be like a jerk who turns around, but the problem was he was too negative and not likable at all.
If Woody's like arc has to be him being like a good character. I mean, not that he was a bad guy to begin with, but if it's to be just like to have this revelation of, I don't even know exactly what the arc is, because I mean the version I know now, he's like always a really good leader. He's just a bit jealous.
The original arc was he was like on top and cock of the walk and a jerk about it, and I guess he would have turned around once he accepted Buzz.
Yeah.
But the thing was, he wasn't likable at all. He was just a prick.
Yeah.
And then like they rewrote it that he was likable, considerate, fun, but only as long as he was on tops.
Yeah.
As long as certain requirements were met, he would be happy. But then that was threatened, and then that's when he became like jealous and stuff. And I think that's a lot of
versus being a jerk.
Very much a stronger storytelling.
Well, that's the thing.
As opposed to a complete character turnaround, it's an element.
Yeah,
turnaround.
It's like you feel that the journey there makes it worth it. But if you're not even caring about this character to follow them, that's a huge downfall.
Like usually, I guess stories will kind of fool you to like empathize with a character because it's like he's a complete jerk, but in the end he learns a thing or two. But it's like, how can someone turn around so much? You know, it's like that movie Overboard. You know, like she falls off the boat and then she becomes a nice lady. And then
I think she hits her head. I don't think she just falls over.
The journey over the edge of the boat changed her for the better.
Yeah.
But then in the end, it becomes more like what's the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he's on Mars? It's like
It becomes like Total Recall.
Yeah, Overboard is a lot like Total Recall when you think about it. Because think about it. Because near the end, then when she finds out that she's an uppity rich lady, she then gets the choice of becoming who she wants to be. Like, does she want to go back to her old life? And Arnold Schwarzenegger goes through the same transition because he's like, I was actually a spy at the end, but he's like, but I feel nice now. And that goes back to the whole nature and nurture kind of question, you know. So it's like, you know, when you realize who you're supposed to be, and you're this new person who lost their memory. Are you reset, or are you just conditioned by the people around you to be nice again, you know? Because consider if a character lost their memory, and then the bad guys they were already a part of find them again. And it's like, well, we kill these guys. He's like, well, why would we do that? Like, will they be, like, nice or innately? Like, think about that.
I don't know.
Like, all right, it's usually, like, in anime and stuff like that, sometimes it'd be like the female like evil, like this happened in Duel and stuff too. Like the main evil female villain girl character is like gets a conk, and then she becomes nice, and then she remembers who she was, but she's still nice. It's like, what if the main female evil person got a conk, and then the evil guys just find her again anyway? And it's like, dude, you got a conk in the head, you wear a helmet, and you go mwahaha. She's like, I guess so.
Interesting you get a conk in the head and like. Instantly you're really sweet and nice. Like, I guess that's the default. Yeah.
I want someone to get a conk and then be a bigger prick. Yeah. It's like Overboard, but then she becomes a horrible mother. She goes overboard.
Yeah.
Or something. That would be an interesting story, because everyone's seen all the other stories.
There are a lot of movies like that. There's a Harrison Ford one, I think, too.
Of course.
Louse who gets bonked on the head, falls over a boat.
Or it's like the whole thing where they experience the other world. Like, this all goes back to like Avatar and all those other stories where it's like they start off one way and then they experience the other way and they're like, oh, the other way's so much better. And then they have to fight the original way. But while they're fighting the original way, the other way finds out that they're a part of the original way and the other way gets mad at them, and then they have to do something nice for the other way.
I hate those moments.
And it's like, no!
Every movie.
Every time! Like, I even going back to some movies like this because I like harking on elements. There's one moment in was it Brainiac, Mind Guy, super smart bad guy? What was that movie?
Megamind?
Megamind, there you go. And, like, of course he gets all big-headed, and then he's mean to his fish friend, and his fish friend leaves, and now he's all alone, and then blah, blah, blah happens, and his fish friend comes back, and you're like, yay, they're back together, but I'm like, come on! Every time they hurt everyone around them, and they leave, and they learn a lesson, and they come back, and they're forgiven, it's happy. I'm like, let's have some actual weight, or, like, not do it at all. Mm-hmm. You know? Don't do the like, basically, this is going right back to what the dude said in the TED Talk. He said, give the audience 2 + 2. Don't give them 4. Now, it may not exactly fit with what I'm talking about, but the point is, it's like, don't keep giving us exactly, this is a little different, don't keep giving us exactly the formulaic crap we've all seen. Take a risk, try something a little different. Like, I want the Avatar movie where the poor cat people don't win in the end. Not just to be a dick, but it's like, do you realize how crazy that'd be for a sequel? It's like, holy crap, we didn't blow up the Death Star, and they blew up Yavin. Well, now we have no home base, and we have to rebuild. Sequel's going to be crazy. Side point, that actually happened in the Star Wars Alternate Universe comics, which were really interesting and borderline stupid.
Were those ones when Leia was
yeah,
part
that was
of
the stupid
Empire?
part, because now it's like
Was
Leia
she
became this
brainwashed, or
big...
was she just...
Leia was told she had the Force earlier on, and so she became
And the
like the
power
Emperor's
goes to her
next...
head, of course.
And then it was horrible because the power went to her head, and then she was like running everything and murdering rebels all over the place. But then Luke's like, Leia, you're good. And she's like, you're right. And then everyone's like, welcome back, Leia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh. Okay.
I know you murdered my brother and all, but...
It's like, well, many more Bothans died because of you, Leia.
so
but
many Bothans.
bring it in. Oh, you. Oh, pat in the head.
Yeah.
That was a case of bonk in the head, and she was found by a bad guy, maybe. That might have been it.
Yeah.
There you go. Maybe they did something right. And then they screwed it up in the end because they made it all nice. They should have just kept it going that way and just branched the story to Evil Leia Chronicles. Boom, boom. Story I always want to tell, the element, is like when you have that like traitor character who was like, you know, makes nice with the main character and then reveals that they're actually with the other side. I hate when their whole character shifts and they're like,
Yeah.
now that they
I think we
revealed.
were talking about this last time,
Yeah,
like Atlantis.
it happened in Atlantis hardcore. Everyone has angry faces. Now they're like, no, we want to eat the Atlantis people.
Evil, angry, smiley
And they're all like,
faces.
And he's like,
like,
come
we know
on,
we're
guys,
bad.
don't you have a dream? And they're like, meh. Until he proved it. Anyway, I want the bad guy character, the turncoat, who's still me, you know? Dude, all the time I've been lying, but my cause is, I believe in my cause.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to join up? And it's like, no! And it's like, well, I'm afraid we'll meet again on the battlefield. I'm sorry, old friend.
Well, that's like a
Boom.
simple one.
And then you're like, oh man, he's not the...
But that has its place, too.
It does, but only when it's done ironically. When it's done seriously, it's horrible. When they're like, now we're going to kill all the Atlantans. And it's like, but guys, science. He's right. We're joining him again. Books! And Leonard Nimoy. He's right, guys. We were wrong. I'm going to blow up something. And I'm like, all
I
right.
have not seen that in years.
Yeah, I've only seen it once.
I
Atlantis.
vaguely remember the references you're making.
Yeah, it's like, they built this statue. It took them 50 years. I built a bridge. Took me like 10 seconds. It was the guy from SNL with the mustache. He was like, had explosives. And it was funny. The art was great. Mignola. You did a bang up job. I like the little square fingers. That's like my biggest compliment for Atlantis. They have really nice fingers in that film.
I think you didn't like the fingers.
That's my favorite part. It's in the trailer. He like rubs the book. He's like, Atlantis. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. 5 fingers, square, boom. Beautiful.
It's like they threw all his drawings in the garbage can. And then redesigned them. and stuff.
Really? It's still like shit. It's not like he didn't look like Hellboy. The main character didn't have like a big chin sticking
Just
out.
made it look like Disney.
Yeah, I guess. Speaking of Disney, I just want a good segue. This past Monday, I found out by following. I follow Alan Cross. He's like my only music news. So Alan Cross does the ongoing history of new music and stuff like that on the radio. He did a post this past Monday. Songwriter Robert B. Sherman passed away. You may not know him by name, but you do know his music. He and his brother Richard wrote over 150 songs for Disney. The most famous, well-known, being Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's so good.
Big number. And apparently it said that word means good, if you translate it.
In 1984 speak.
Yeah, whenever you had a
That's double plus, plus, plus,
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious
plus,
time. I didn't notice, but frag is actually in the sentence. Supercalifragalicious. So I'm like, yeah, like frag, like in video games.
Fragalicious instead of frag.
No, whatever. As well as the classic number, It's a Small World After All. He wrote that as well.
Aww,
so big ups. A lot of influential songs that you've known and grown up with, possibly. As I tweeted, next time you go ride It's a Small World, do a little, raise a little glass for Robert B. Sherman. Bring a flask or something. I don't know. Just come onto the boat. And, yeah, that's a legacy. To have, like, everyone know your song.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote a song that, like, doesn't end. It's a constant loop.
Kind of like the song that never ends.
Yeah, but no one's gonna, like... I hate that song. Well, that was Sherry and Lamb Chops. She was a comedian, wasn't she? She was a stand-up. She brought little lamb chops around on the road and did like shows with her. She was actually. When
you say stand-up, I'm instantly picturing it being a lot more blue than.
It probably was. It's kind of like when Raffi Banana Phone, he did a live show meant for adults, and it was all kids songs,
okay,
but it's for the adults who grew up with it.
When we first discovered like Thomas the Tank.
Train engine, tank engine.
Yeah, and it was Carlin.
Yeah, George Carlin. They're like, who should we cast as the Ringo Starr's charming and all, and his voice is the point and all those whatever. We need an American blue blood to be in this Shining Time station. Who is child appropriate that we should cast?
7 things you can't say on a train.
And they're like, we should cast George Carlin. And like our dad would always be like, why did they put that guy in the show? I'm like, but he's so nice. I didn't know his comedy as a kid. I'm like, the conductor's so nice. He's friendly. And my dad's like, no, he's a rebel. He's a pothead rebel.
Dad was never pothead?
No, I never said that, but it's just that kind of thing. Like he had something against the train conductor. I'm like, he's telling me stories. Why do you hate him so much, Father? What's going on in the chat over there? Adriana's in, Flux Fox is in, Innes talks. Oh, Innes has converted because we don't follow the Twitter as much.
I'm checking it every once in a while, but mostly just working. But mostly
I check it every now and then, but Chris's clone? Is there any clones? No, it's a normal Chris.
Thank goodness.
Last week we had Chris the clone, the guest, the host. It was complicated.
I was terrified.
Anywho, your script is like right there covering the feed.
Oh.
I gotta make sure we're still running. Well, just make sure I can see the.
Sorry, Innes. You left me alone on Twitter.
Is that what she says? I'm sorry.
We just leave the option open in case the chat.
Well, usually if you want like post a link or something, we're still working on that. We're going to get the Shanhagen's live Twitter eventually.
There's so many things we're still working
on. I think we're working on many things. That's a good thing, isn't it? This is the month of rebrand. This is the Fire of the Phoenix relaunch of many things. First of all, last night at 6 a.m, I finally finished the super duper year in review per episode of TTDC, talking to the camera.
I'm very proud.
It's a stupid video because it's basically a lot of old footage of stuff I never showed that I was going to, but just never got around to. I just wanted to get it all off my computer and onto the web. So it's basically like a 2011 year in review. Just talks about what we've been up to. Check that out over at my YouTube, Shaggy Shan on YouTube.
Talk says, "Where's the website?"
Which one?
Question mark,
we have a website?
I don't know. Oh, the Shanahannigan's website.
We have a website?
Hey,
so we're working on it. The TDC was awesome. Thank you, Innes. Yep. So that episode is finally out. 14 minutes long, just because it's a lot of old footage. But talking about the rebranding, the new TTDC that I'm going to start working on. I've been writing it for a while now. It is drastically different. This is revolutionary. This is a season 4 to be proud of. I don't even know if I'm going to call it season 4 because it's going to be messed up.
Season X.
We're basically taking season X in the year 1990 X. It's going to be based in. It's going to be a very different animal. It's similar flair because I'm not going to go too far off. But like, it's taking everything I've learned in the past, kind of, in the past years.
You think you'll have more shorts?
Yeah, it's basically trying to keep things more concise because as much as I enjoy the concept of like variety show and like, who knows what you're going to get this time, like lots of different things. The problem is it's not a practical format for the web. The web is more about short bursts. And this is stuff like I tell you and you're like, yeah, I know, of course, like it makes sense. But like when you still want to kind of pursue the things you like to do, like I always like the idea of like a big mixed show of different stuff, but it's just for the web medium, it is not practical. We learned that doing the Escapist show. It was too much to do in too little time.
Yeah, you guys had a week to do what?
Was it three sketches per week basically.
10-minute show.
And it's like the same with the TDC. The reason I kept falling behind in episodes is because like everything else would be done except for one thing that wasn't finished yet, and then I had to find pictures and stuff, and it basically just dragged down the whole process. So the new concept, I'm not going to tell you what the show's going to be about just yet, but the new idea is basically I take a day and I film like 3 episodes worth of talking and crap, and then over like the month I cut it up and release them incrementally.
That's good.
You know, and that way it's still, I don't have to shoot anything else, which is nice. It's like it's all shot, but now it's just like you get pockets of fun. So talking to the camera, TDC is actually going to start breaking up into a whole branch of different things. So instead of just being like full show and update episode, there's going to be separate things for update episode, comics episode, the shows, things you should watch episodes, rant episode. So basically I can spend a day and shoot 1 episode's worth of content, switch my shirt in between each one, and then break it up into separate videos. And then that's going to be a lot more for you guys to watch. A lot more experimenting too, lots of different things. I want to start incorporating a lot more weird writing and kind of quick ideas. Because, let's keep talking about this year. 2012. Last year was the year for change. This year is the year for more change. And awareness. Because we got to get all that stuff out there. We're building the website for Silly Kingdom. We got the new, I wrote, as I told a bunch of you guys on the Twitter, wrote the first draft of Silly Kingdom Book 2.
That one's going to be fun.
It's going to be interesting. Going to be quite silly, I think.
That one's
it's going to be very silly.
One to date.
Very, very silly. And then after that, I started doing notes for... Actually, we've been kind of... we haven't been in debate about this, but it's been kind of on and off. I'm not sure how it's going to work. There's consideration of if the second book is going to have 2 short stories at like the same or slightly longer than the first book. Because I think like the stories... how I wrote it, it seems kind of short. I'm not sure. We'll see. We haven't done our meeting yet. I don't know if we're going to do our meeting. This Katie's busy.
I gotta pay the bills.
Doing things.
I gotta fulfill my contract.
I wrote so nicely. Last Thursday, I took the day and I wrote all day long. Silly Kingdom. I'm like, let's break this down. I took the original idea.
I'm insisting on like 2 hours of sleep.
I don't know. Well, that was Graham's tweet.
I had to fly to Ottawa.
Graham was like,
Yeah.
You guys, are you missing like a sleep gene?
4 a.m. You're like, I finished TTTC.
You're like, you're awake at 6 in the morning working on videos and crap. It's like, do you guys sleep ever? I'm like,
no.
And he asked if it was just in our blood, and I'm like, I wonder if Heather has it too.
Probably. I know Flux Fox, Kate, you never sleep. I know our aunt has 2 little babies, and so she's up till crazy hours, and I'll see her too, like 5 in the morning.
That's the weird thing, yeah. You have certain regulars at certain times of the day. It's like, there's this one guy who like comments on everything. On my Facebook usually at like 2, 3 in the morning. It's like my day's worth of posts on everyone's sites eventually get comments and stuff like that. So it's interesting. It's like there's different like patterns for things. But yeah, so Silly Kingdom. I don't know, can I give the title? Or
is there a title?
There's a title. It's been a title like forever.
Oh, give the title.
The title is A New Steed Indeed.
You heard it here first, folks.
What could that be about? Silly Kingdom Book 2. This is also the complicated thing. Is originally when they were rated plays, I wrote them as Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. Book 1, we didn't really put a number anywhere on it. And so I'm like, is it Book 1 or Chapter 1? But then if I have 2 stories in one book, is it Chapter 2 and 3? Or is it Book 2, 2 random stories? Because it got really confusing. Like, I love sorting things and categorizing things. But it got really complicated to sort it because I wasn't sure. So I had to relabel everything as like, it's no longer Chapter 1, it's like Book 1, Story A and B, kind of like TV shows, how they have like, if they have 2 in one episode, it's like A and B. But that gets really confusing because people like post Adventure Time being like, oh, it has episode 1A and 1B, but then it's like episode 1 and 2, and it's like, duh! So some people will say it's like 13 episodes with A and Bs, or like 30 episodes.
Yeah.
It's like,
we call it A and B shows when we're animating.
I guess so, if it's like 2 in one segment. But, so that's going on. What's going on in the chat over there? You guys got anything to make me go, wowsies? Can't believe you left TTC on a cliffhanger. I did?
I don't think
oh, do you mean the contest? Alright, well, here's the thing. The reason I released it yesterday at 6 in the morning was I was really tired of working on it and delaying it because like, I just wanted to get it done and get it out there, but there's always something else to do. Like, I didn't even have the winners picked yet. So I was going to have to pick them, then record me telling you guys who it was.
Why don't we pick them on this
and
show?
I'm like,
or I guess
and then I had a whole segment at the end of the episode that was all about me losing my hat. It was all in black and white and sad music, but there's so much more I had to do with it. I didn't want to keep delaying this video. It was already 14 minutes long. I'm like, let's just get rid of it. I'm done. Mm-hmm. It's out there. Ugh. It's complicated stuff when you do this.
Sometimes you just gotta kind of move on.
Yeah, I've made cuts on TTC episodes before where it's just like, I just don't have time to do this, and I just like lop off a segment or something like that. So there's like a never before seen footage out there. somewhere. I don't know if it's worth watching. Might be a reason why it's never before seen.
The director's cut.
Yeah, it's like,
there's a reason this was cut.
Yeah.
By edit.
And like, to be fair, like, I could have like sat around and cutting it. As Winston Churchill once famously said, I would have made this letter shorter, but I didn't have time. And what that means is he's basically saying if he had more time to sit there and think and fiddle, he could have written a lot shorter letter, but he just wrote everything down in one go because he had to. So I could have made
about cutting and recutting and
I could have made that episode shorter than 14 minutes. I could have taken a few shots out of the roller derby sequence or something.
Yeah, that was kind of my only critique, I guess, because I didn't know if you were filming the actual game happenings, but I was like,
I know what I was filming. Well, the thing is, roller derby by nature is a bunch of people going around in circles.
Yeah. I was like, I
yeah. I don't know. Well, the thing was, I was just tired. I just didn't want to keep working on it, so I had to finish it. So I can, because I have all these new ideas were like piling up, and I'm writing them down and just imagining how to do them. Even on the streetcar, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this, but I'm like, I still have the other video to do, and then it just really, it's like that, like, I don't know, like some annoying guy who you're there and you got like a box of cupcakes, and he shows up, he's like, hey guys, what you got there? And you're like, you want to enjoy your cupcakes.
Is this a friend though, or is this just some guy?
I'm just making someone up. This is an annoying guy on the street. And you don't want to be rude. But like sometimes you gotta be rude and say, buzz off, brosive. I want to eat my cupcakes.
You could just be like, sorry, these aren't food.
And that's basically the
Buzz off, brosive.
That's the name of this episode. Buzz off, brosive. It's a cool name for a band. But that's kind of what I had to do with the episode. I'm like, you know what? I'm done tinkering with it. I'm done trying to add things to it. Let's get it out there so I can move on. It's like the saying, stay calm, move on.
The cooking segment was awesome.
Yeah, that was also long too. I want to cut that down more.
It also tasted awesome.
Did you do it? Oh, I thought Dennis did it.
Oh, no, yeah, I did.
You should all do it, man. Krispy Kreme burger.
You find that Krispy Kremes and mustard actually taste really good.
Yeah. Katie was a hater at first. But
as you could hear from my just voiceover, just kind of in disbelief as he's
somehow the mixture of donut, lettuce,
mayo.
Like soft lettuce, like, and not even mayo, but just the combination of the donut, which is sweet, the lettuce, which is crisp and fresh, and the mustard, which is a little more tangy. They all like work together really well.
It's not that odd because you find some burger places you go to, the burger buns are kind of
like a sourdough,
sweet,
like a good sourdough
you've
bread.
Actually got Jerry wanting to go to Krispy Kreme.
Really? There's only one in the city, so you gotta hang out with me more.
Finish these deadlines, we should go visit your brother.
We'll have a Krispy Kreme party. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. So, the whole video is done. I love it. Ugh. I guess wait.
So like really, really bad. Actually, do you remember the last time you went to Krispy Kreme?
I forget every time I go.
I don't know. It was the guy had like a really, really, really bad stutter, and like you were ordering, and then I was like, okay, we're good, and then you were like, wait, what was that? And then you made him repeat it.
No, I
don't think you did it.
I didn't do it maliciously. I just didn't understand what he was saying. Now, and I wasn't doing it like, speak up, son.
I know you weren't, but
I was just like, sorry.
Just say yes.
I didn't know what he's asking.
We'll just take it all. Give us all of it.
Well, fine.
I feel awkward. No, it was delightful.
One of the issues I had with the video was the Tintin sequence, because I went out that night and filmed it. You didn't get to go because you were doing like this. You're working. So I went out and filmed the whole Tintin thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to upload this like tomorrow. I'm going to be like up to date.
Oh, after the event.
Then Katie's telling me that the people who own Tintin...
I technically want to talk about those files.
Nothing happened. Anyway, so Krispy Kreme donuts.
There's legal stuff, but...
There's legal, so that's why...
We don't know nothing.
We don't know nothing. That's why I was worried about that video, and that's why I didn't put anyone's name in it.
Though. It wasn't like an auction.
Oh yeah, no, it was an art show. But that's why I was kind of like, when I was making the video, I'm like, should I cut this sequence? I'm like, I filmed it.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna promote it, but I filmed it.
There's some great stuff, great art, great people. Just
there's
fun Toronto event.
But if you're wondering why, like, if you're in that video and you didn't get your name shown up, like, that's why, it's to protect you.
Yeah.
I'm protecting you from yourself.
I don't know what the details are, but
yeah. But Katie's work was awesome.
Thank you.
If it was in the show, legally, it wasn't. I don't know.
Suddenly, like, the Hershey estate kicks my door down.
Is that it? The Hershey's? And they're like, Sacre bleu! I'm like, wow. Is that where, I don't know where they're from. Are they Italian or are they Portuguese? Where's Tintin from? Belgium?
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you go to Belgium, it's like they have a comic museum.
Yeah, but you go to
And,
every
like, a
place in
bus.
Europe and they have a Tintin store. So it's like,
Yeah,
they love their
They
Tintin.
love comics in Europe. But that's where it's from.
They love
like,
Tintin like we love Krispy Kreme, man. They're making...
They have a Krispy Kreme art
Yeah.
show.
No, like Belgium.
Yeah.
All the books are in French, though. What do they speak in Belgia?
It's in France, right? Jer?
Jerry, what's the Belgian dialect?
French?
I think they speak some French.
They speak French, so Tintin makes
I
sense?
think they speak a lot of languages.
Hey, there you go.
Oh.
A little learning, a little education. Anyway, that video's done.
That's our course.
Sprechen Sie Belgian? What? Or off screen. Smurfs are from Belgium too.
Oh.
Boo! Hanna-Barbera, yeah. Were they just like a folklore or were they a property?
The
Like Smurfs
the
were
brothers
like the
Oh, you mean the Smurfs were part of...
Were they a part of like Belgian folklore and then they just got
I
like
don't know.
bastardized by Hanna-Barbera? Or like
Yeah, Dutch, French, and German.
Dutch, French.
Dutch,
yeah,
French, and
Dutch,
German?
I was thinking.
Dutch, French, and German are Belgian land. And they also make chocolate. Something fell down
What's
downstairs.
your...
That was interesting.
Probably
What do we say here? And French discrete porpoise. Aha, they were comic firsts. Says Adriana. Okay, cool. No, they were the result of bad science experiments.
Poor Smurfs.
Robber, the Swedish is in the language. That Swedish is in the language. 2 hours of sleep last night. Wait, who didn't get 2 hours of sleep last night? Creepy Porpoise slept late. Yeah, I don't know if you slept. I got to sleep at 6. Hey, how about that?
High five.
We're like Twitter buddies.
Yay.
This is the career, kids. When you want to be an animator, you're like, oh boy, I'm going to be the next John Lasseter. No, it's not that fun. You know, it's not about Hawaiian shirts and hugging Miyazaki. It's you got to work
I wish
late.
we could all wear Hawaiian shirts and hug Miyazaki.
Speaking of which, segue, folks. Guess what's coming to Toronto? Like it was in LA.
The Hawaiian shirt convention?
Hawaiian Shirt
Oh my
Con.
God.
John Lasseter's going to be speaking, but also the same weekend coming up, we have the Spirited Away, the films of
Our
Studio Ghibli.
Good friend Miyazaki.
Miyazaki, I don't know if he's going to be. I don't know if anything's going on, but over at the TIFF Bell Lightbox Thingamabobber over on King Street and wherever street, we're going to have.
King and John.
There you go. Bunch of screenings, more for some, less for others, but a whole hoot and a holler load of Ghibli films. I'm most curious about the ones I've never seen because Disney doesn't release the serious
there are
ones.
two there, I
There's
don't
2 of
know.
them that are like about people and
One
hats
is-
and trains.
One I think is like a love triangle story.
Love triangle and
One
jeans.
is like a girl revisiting her past
Yeah.
or something.
So I want to check out
Sounds
those
like
2 because
very
I've never seen them before. But of course, they also have Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. They have Spirited Away.
Do you know if Nausicaa's... I've heard, like, I really love the manga. And
I love
heard
the
that
manga.
The anime is
We-
incredibly condensed.
Our folks own it, but we never watched it.
Or there was a version that came out first and her name was like Zanzibar or something. They didn't want to call
Really?
it Nausicaa.
I
Something
don't know.
weird.
Jason didn't seem too happy with it though. He says boring.
Kafo.
I'm like, isn't it a war epic?
It wasn't no speed eraser.
Was he sitting there? He's just like, Kafo out, and he walked out.
Kafo's gotta bounce.
Kafo's gotta go, for sure.
I can't wait till that guy visits.
I hope he talks like that. His sweet, sweet voice.
I love that guy.
But yeah, so check out the website. Just look up like Toronto, Miyazaki, Bell,
Tiff.
Ghibli,
That's
Tiff,
T-I,
Bell.
double F.
Yeah, lots of screens coming up. Weirdly enough, though, Howl's Moving Castle only has 1 day of screenings,
Oh.
which is weird because like some of the other ones have like
Howl's
Spirited Away
Moving-
has a ton of screenings. I think Mononoke also. Pocoroso is going to be there. We've got Cat Returns as well
That
as
one's cute.
the one that precedes it. What's that one?
Spirit
No.
of the Heart?
Yes,
Whisper of the
Whisper.
Heart. Whisper of the Heart. No.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yes?
They have the floating castle in the sky, of course, is there, which was actually funnier than I thought it was going to be when I first watched it. It's actually really silly. But I think all these are going to be in the original Japanese. I'm
They
not
have
sure.
the
Are they?
good one?
Are they all in Japanese?
I think there might be the option
That I don't know.
for multiple screenings.
And the stocks asked if we've seen Arrietty. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We talked about it a few episodes ago. 2 episodes ago, I think. We enjoyed it.
Super cute.
It was cute. Had some things.
Had some things with the plot.
They should have went to that TED Talk.
Yeah.
Learn a thing or two about story. Wally guy could have said a thing.
We just didn't like the villain.
Well, the fact that they shoehorned, like, this kind of antagonist character at the end who's like, the borrowers will be mine. And I'm like, where did that come from? Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, otherwise, we loved the borrowing. And
yeah, they borrowed good.
the world was really cute.
Oh, and we talked about, like, the water system, like how we have a tiny drop of water, and it's the same for them, except it's, like, giant because how water particles work for a smaller thing. It wouldn't be like they have tinier water. It's like this. They pour it out of the teapot, a blob, and it's, like, so cool. And they eat butter. So good.
They do eat butter.
The grass, whoever's the
Very
grass
good.
animator.
Those backgrounds are stunning.
They are nuts. It's like
background artists.
it's gotta be like the same guys.
So
ever.
good.
So
That's
good.
why I love the Ghibli movies. I love the
They
just
set a good ambiance.
just how charming and simple the characters are, and then just how rich and beautiful all the backgrounds are. Like you feel like Totoro too. It's like you're out there in the
Oh
country.
god,
and
you feel it when they
you feel
eat
the
that
wind.
cucumber. You're like, damn,
Yeah.
I want a cucumber
I want a
now.
cucumber
And then you
so
realize
bad.
cucumber sucks.
Cucumbers are good when they're good. You should have
Really?
like, a fresh.
Are they good when they're good?
No. You need to go to a farmer's
They're bad when
market.
they're bad though. Watch out.
They get a good when they're good cucumber. Because obviously you've been.
Is there a
like,
booth for that? Good when it's good, and the guys just sitting there with a pipe.
I like that.
You folks from the city? I'm like, this is a farmer's market in Toronto, so sure.
Yeah. What you
Folks from around
No,
here.
usually city folks.
You
in
look
this
like a
park.
city boy. I'm like, seeing towers right over there.
Oh, too much of a rush in this city. Yeah, there's a farmer's market by the Metro. No, Roy Thompson Hall. They have the best pies you can find.
Is there like a pie window that the lady puts it on the still and be like, don't touch it now?
You should talk about your pie window restaurant idea, unless you're keeping that for.
Secrets?
Yeah.
Did I have an idea?
It was kind of like you
No,
go to
it's-
a pie shop and it's like each booth has a window in the middle of it.
Oh,
and
maybe.
they serve your pie on the windowsill.
You have to let it
Fresh and
cool.
hot. Yeah, and then
That's
there's
such a
one
good
guy
idea.
running around trying to steal your pie.
Oh, yeah. Did I write this down? There was the pie thief.
Yeah.
It was like this pie restaurant. And you
gives
had to
it
watch
that
out
level-
for the pie
gives it
thief.
that level of danger.
Yeah. That sounds like such a good idea. Wait, did I make that up?
I think it was.
Did I make it up or did I tell you
must
about
have-
it?
You must have told me. I think you probably made it.
I'm worried now.
You gotta copyright that fast.
Sometimes I can't tell if I saw something somewhere else because I know there's like all these weird sketches and stuff on like Mr. Show and Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Good Job, and it's like, did I make that up or dream it? So sometimes it's horrible when you think about that. I gotta think about
You
that.
dream it.
I gotta go back to Tim and Eric just in case because
I
that
just
sounds
remember-
suspect.
Every time I think about that, I remember like the most disappointing dream I ever had as a kid was like,
Oh, yeah.
you know the Ninja Turtles arcade game?
Yeah,
And I don't know how many there were
one.
ever. But I had
Well,
a dream
no, there's
that-
Turtles in Time.
Okay, I had a dream that there was a second arcade one. I was so excited, and I got up to tell you, and then it was like, it was a freaking dream, and it was so disappointing.
I had a horrible dream that I found my hat.
Oh.
It seems so real. I was like, it was here all along. And everyone started applauding, and I'm like, thank you. And then I woke up.
And then you see what's his name on the Titanic.
We all walked up, and Leo had his hand out. I always wondered about that. Didn't she? We talked about this before, probably.
Yeah, we're
Didn't she
like-
have like another family,
Well, she didn't love her husband.
and
I
she
guess.
dies, and then she goes to Leonardo heaven,
The whole time she was just thinking about.
and her other old husband's like, where'd she go?
he's waiting at the pie shop for her in heaven.
The one who spent more than 2 days with her.
Yeah, the one who actually spent his life with her, probably.
My heart was always on the Titanic. I'm like, all
She's
right.
like, you'll never be like that boy.
We
whose
had
name I can't remember."
grandkids.
I know, you had children with me.
Oh my god.
But you never drew me naked. You never asked.
Dude, I was waiting for the magic word. Draw me
I do
naked.
feel like that. It's like certain movies where they'll have characters that are destined to be together, but they're like with other characters.
Yeah.
They'll make their boyfriend slash girlfriend slash fiancés such assholes so that you're like, oh yeah, they have to split up to
Yeah.
like.
Well, it's
like-
basically the Adam Sandler relationship.
Yeah, where it's like.
Where it's the
wants
girl
with the
always
girl.
has an evil jerk guy.
And it's like, well, of
And
course.
so he's gonna
it's
get
kinda
her.
Like, but
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it be more interesting if he was like a super nice guy?
There are movies where like there was that. Oh god, what movie was it? It was the one where I don't think it was Angelina Jolie. It was someone, and she was pretending to be this old lady, like sex columnist or like relationship guide, and then she got a huge following. But then she revealed that she's actually, I'm just me, and everyone's like, oh. And then she goes to Titanic.
Oh, there wasn't the moment where
there
betrayed the Na'vi.
But there was a moment where I don't know if it's that movie we're mixing up with like some other movie Mom was watching. I don't know. But like,
like
the two main guy and girl, not main, but like the girl, because she's seen another guy on set who's like the boom operator, and he's fucking built holding that boom.
Well, I mean, if you do that like 24 hours a day.
And then eventually she breaks up with the guy she was with, but it was kind of this cool like, you didn't feel anything either? It's like, yeah, oh shoot, well, okay, well, good luck. And they both break up because they're both kind of out of each other. And it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of neat. Like, there's no evil boyfriend. It's just like, we don't feel anything anymore. It's like, oh, interesting that they did that. And then she goes with the guy she was after, as opposed to all those horrible movies like Leap Year, where she spends 2 days in Ireland in a car with some Irish guy, and all of a sudden she's going to marry him instead because the boyfriend's all like, oh, I want to own an apartment, that's why we should get married now. It's like, no more you, I'm going for the Irish guy. But lady, after 2 days of adventure is great and all, but now you got to live with the guy. Oh, it's going to be fun every day, I'm sure.
No, there's going to be that moment where it's like, that guy wants to buy an apartment, and she'll be like, no!
Ah, it's happening again, so she goes to Poland's Leap Year.
Did they make that movie for Leap Year?
Yeah, no. But every 5 years you propose to an Irish man,
Someone
and
said
then
that every 5
he
years,
marries you.
Like, girls propose to the guy.
Yeah. But her car breaks down in Dublin, and then Hugh Jackman lookalike, or whoever it is all Irish and hot and unruly and nothing like her city boy. But then she finds out he has a heart, and then her city boy is like all material and evil, and she's like, I'm going for McDelicious. Stupid.
McMuffins. We got a Daniel Luke tweet.
What's up, Daniel Luke?
The Jungle Book, Bare Necessities, swoon. Also, hi. I don't know who I should be tweeting to.
Wait, what?
Get on the chat, because nobody's
Explain
on your
yourself,
stream.
Daniel Luke.
Daniel Luke, go onto the chat, because I don't think anyone's hanging out on Twitter.
What is he talking about? Bare Necessities soon?
He's talking about animation.
Like it's just such a good movie?
It's just a good song.
Oh, it has nothing to do with Leap Year. It was from 24 minutes ago.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
I didn't want to ignore
Bare
him.
Necessities. Yeah. Man, that movie.
Sometimes you just need an Irishman.
I think he's talking about the songs written, yeah. He might have written Bare Necessities, there you go. But yeah, there you go. Ugh.
I like that topic, though.
I hate it, actually. It's just, they do that all the time, so like I like a more genuine thing where it's like, you either the two characters just aren't interested in each other anymore.
Where it's Enchanted?
Is that did it work like that in Enchanted? So no one got hurt? It was just like, we're not that into each other anymore.
And then it's like she realizes that her and the prince who had their big song, it's like they didn't really have anything for each other.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, this is gonna be an awkward. Not to spoil it, so cover your ears.
Enchanted had some interesting ideas.
His fiance, who was also a really, really nice lady, is just like, yeah, this isn't working, and then she ends up with.
They could have made her more materialistic, but then her fallback.
But they make her nice.
That was such a rebound, though.
Nice
her and the prince was completely like
out of nowhere.
Family rebound.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do in all the movies. Always like, remember all those
single.
Remember all those single characters you hate, like the bat from Anastasia, and in the end, female bat comes out of like literally. This is the most out of nowhere. If there was ever something pulled out of an ass, it was in Anastasia when it's like, oh, it's the end of the movie, and then this pink bat shows up and starts making out with him, and you're like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
I think the only time that was done right was
like it was done even
was Sword in the Stone with like the girl squirrels.
Yeah, in Sword in the Stone it was done amazingly.
Big, scary one that was
because the giant squirrel who loved the wizard was so great.
Amazing.
And she's like, whoa! He's like, madam.
And then the little squirrel that likes Arthur.
That was so sad.
So heartbroken.
The last scene of that segment is the little squirrel is crying. And you feel so horrible. Yeah. In contrast, you get stupid dinosaur music, and in the end, the horrible, irritating whatever character who's talking silly the whole time gets 3-girl harem jumping on him out of nowhere.
Wait, I'm sorry, what movie?
This is the 3D dinosaur movie, when Disney's like, well, not just Pixar does 3D.
Oh,
and at the very end, the most irritating character all of a sudden is alpha male sex me.
Well, did he have money?
I don't know. He survived the Great Walk. That was in no way inspired by Land Before Time. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, bro, now every girl likes me. Right on the irritating train of me. No. And I'm like,
some girls.
People look at the wrong thing for, like, the meaning female characters. Yeah. They're all like, oh, the video games. No. Stupid kids movies do a lot more injustice. At least the video game girls kick a thing or two or talk or are alive and aren't just throwing their flesh all upon.
Incredibly good point, because that stuff with the kids shows, it's like it'll just be in there. Oh, isn't that cute? But it's like, but
isn't that cute? A harem of horny groundhogs are mounting the sidekick character.
Oh, that's right. He was raised by lemurs or something.
Or whatever. I am angry.
I forgot this movie. I didn't know you've been carrying this for...
The rage has been in me too long. We must protest irritating sidekick characters who get the goods for no justified reason.
Yeah.
Fight with me. I'm making a campaign.
Yeah.
It's going to be a picture of a lemur and all these girl lemurs and an X across it.
Yeah.
Be like, no.
Behave yourself.
Respect yourself, female lemurs.
Yeah.
It's like if in the end of Lion King, all of a sudden this female warthog and
a girl
meerkat show up, and they're like, "Hey Timon, hey Pumbaa," and they tell me this didn't happen in Lion King 1.5, but in the very end, the warthog with the bow shows up, and it's like, "Oh, everyone's happy now because they all got some." That's basically what it says. Bartok the Bat got some. That was the conclusion to Anastasia.
That was his arc.
That was his character arc. He was in an abusive relationship with Christopher Lloyd, and then he turned into a skeleton and died horribly, and then all of a sudden his soulmate shows up and wants him. That's the conclusion to Anna. Oh, by the way, the princess was reunited with her grandma. Ta-da! Bartok got some.
That's all we really want.
That's how the story ends. TED Talk right now.
Kids were like, but what about Bartok?
That was, we were on the edge of our seats being like, whoa. Okay, he gets with Anastasia. I get it. What about Bartok? Dude has been needing this. This is why you should... You watch your Iron Giant in the morning, and then you leave. This is how you analyze films.
Flux Fox says, I wish my abusive relationship with Christopher Lloyd ended so well. Flux Fox, you gotta leave. You just walk away. You are worth more than that.
Oh my god. Iron Giant didn't have that problem. There was no girl Iron Giant. It was like, hey, friggin' Vin Diesel, now that you found out your true self, come with me. Girl Giant. Didn't happen because they didn't need it, because Brad Bird's a smart fellow.
Yeah.
He kind of got a reputation for that somehow. I don't know how. Maybe he made good choices.
That's what they said. You give them 2 + 2, you don't give them 4.
Yeah.
Right? Does that apply
Oh
here?
my god.
I don't know if that applies here.
Even going back to what we were talking about earlier, how characters get a bump in the head. That was the whole plot of Iron Giant. But he had that... He returned to his original form, which was the crazy thing. Most of the characters find out who they're supposed to be, and they're like, I don't want to be that guy anymore. He went 100% Iron Giant when his bump returned.
I love that.
And he was dangerous. And this is like, there's one point that our dad brought up how, like, there's one thing I don't like about that movie also is how the redhead guy at the very end is like, I don't want to die with you guys. I'm going to run away because I'm a bad guy. And like, he didn't really show that kind of tendency throughout the movie.
He was kind of wormy though.
But that was a little much.
Okay.
It tried to vilify him a little too much. And the thing was, he was really pushing, the giant is dangerous.
Says, screw our country, I want to live.
Yeah.
And
that was really pushing it. That was basically Frollo saying, you know, I killed your mother, Quasimodo, by the by. I had no motivation to tell you this now. But hey, I want you to be angry at me. Hey, Mufasa, or Simba, I killed Mufasa. Oh, shoot, you got your powers back. Okay. Anyway, so, like, he was basically maintaining that this thing is a threat to America, and he was just in his worry. Because the Iron Giant was a war machine sent to Earth.
I see what you're saying. Like, he was a bad guy, and he was kind of quirky and kind of a jerk, but you kind of wanted him not to lose.
I didn't want him to just be, like, a cowardice prick at the end.
You had to get rid of him somehow.
They did, but, like, because it... And I don't want to keep justifying things by being like, because it was a kid's movie.
No, not because it was a kid's movie, but it was like, yeah, I guess you had to find a way to...
But that was kind of weak sauce. I didn't agree with that, because I'm like, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I feel like reading the script and being like, what? I say what now? You know? Because it's like, he had a just cause of being like, a war machine has been sent to America.
Well, here, Adriana,
and it's going to kill all our asses
what
now.
What Adriana says here, though, I think I agree. I think Kent cared more about praise and power than patriotism. It was more about getting ahead as a good doing a good job, I think, and like getting praise from the
sure, I guess, but it's like I still feel like he was still just in his whole cause because in the end, the giant returned to War Machine
and he was
state.
Right.
He would have killed everything.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the giant had a bump in the head and learned about Superman and was all cool.
That is a good point, because it's like, you know, from Ken's point of view, it's like this kid's running around with this war machine.
Yeah.
It's like, just tell me where it is, and like maybe he's not super nice about it, but if it came down as it was,
it's like, say
it would have
Russia shot a missile to America and it landed beside Hogarth's house, and it had a smiley face on it, and then he started playing with it. I'm pretty sure Kent would be like, dude, that rocket is going to blow up. And everyone's like, no, look, he's wearing flowers. And he's like, this is bonkers bananas. What is wrong with my country?
Okay. Kent aside, though, the fact that it chooses is such a powerful moment.
That's the point. That's the turning point.
There's listening to a lot of interviews with directors and animators and people who, like, they're defining movies growing up as, like, oh, Bambi or... Jungle Book and things. It's like I always liked animation growing up, but I wasn't sold on working and like being in animation until I think I saw that movie, until I saw Iron Giant, and then I was just like, you can make such amazing, powerful stories in it. Because I remember like it was my birthday and Dad was like, let's go see Iron Giant. I was like, I don't want to see this stupid kids movie. Anyway, I was in tears by the end of it, and it just, you know, when he's like, you choose who you want to be, and it's like the giant's like ready to shoot Hogarth, and it's just this, the scene, it's like the way it's set up is so amazing, and like just the, you know, the relationship those two have, and it's just like so much weight, and it's like Andrew Stanton was saying, you know, make me care.
Yeah,
and like I
make me care
so much about.
I don't care about Bartok.
I don't care about Bartok. I don't care if he gets it.
I don't care if he dies in a ditch.
But I care so much about, you know, the humanity of this robot.
Yeah.
And like
that was
the
big.
friendship of this boy, that I was just like, oh.
But that's like a movie that used the bump in the head element well, because it wasn't just him being like, I'm supposed to be evil. Like when he found out that he was a weapon, he was kind of traumatized. Mm-hmm. But then he actually became his programming. But then he fought his programming, and you're like, and then he sacrificed himself ultimately, and you're like, oh my god, gosh. Really well done.
Yeah, and that's the thing where it's like, you know, the happy wrap up is so good too. Where you're just like, yes, and it makes sense because this robot's unstoppable, and that's a horrifying fact. But here it's really happy because we like him.
Oh balls! He's rebuilding himself and planning things in Alaska.
Like, when the eyes open, you're like, oh good, they're happy eyes.
Well, if the eyes open and went dun 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 dun.
Because it's like, you're like, this is a great moment, and then you're like, but the subtext of it is that this robot is absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah.
And
we would not have survived. Horrible. It would have been War of the Worlds. Yeah. Even our oxygen would not have killed him.
Yeah.
He eats cars. We like cars.
We love cars.
He eats everything we like.
He eats art and makes better art.
Yeah, we're done. It was funny. I had good moment. I believe I didn't really like it the first time I saw it. Mm-hmm. But I think it was kind of a transitional movie for me.
It was a movie that I think the advertising...
Yeah. The advertising wasn't good.
To a lot of people, because they gave away a lot of stuff. They made it, like...
They made it seem like the wrong movie. It made it seem more like, boy, robot movie, bang, bang, bang. But it was more like, boy, robot movie.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
I agree.
But I think watching it, I call it a transitional film because it wasn't like the kind of skippity-doo-dah, sing-song Disney kind of affair, which I love Aladdin to this day. It's so colorful and fun and stupid. It's great.
It's fun and stupid.
It's so great and colorful. Like the palette, I just the thing that.
Remember actually when Aladdin came out on TV and like we were kids and there was a commercial for it. We ran upstairs and burst into our parents' room and there's a movie coming out we have to see right now and there's a princess in an hourglass and all this stuff.
I didn't even know.
Just freaking out, and then I was like, "Can we see it now?" And it's like you don't understand that this movie doesn't come out till Christmas.
Yeah, it was like one of those things like you got to get the Burger King toys and stuff. Like it was just Aladdin was just fun and
Jasmine.
Great. But like, and Disney kind of continued doing the whole song thing, and I guess Iron Giant was the first more serious narrative that didn't rely on kind of such slapstick and. You know, like I know Lion King also, you call it a narrative, but it's like, it's still talking animals in the end. It's not grounded in reality as much as Iron Giant was, like, had real world, like, physics and rules and bullies and kids and stuff, actually. Like, I'm not worried about hyenas kicking in my door and laughing at me. But, like, friggin'...
Well, you would be if you
it's not likely to happen anytime soon, I'm pretty sure.
If you worked in a zoo.
Let's take a quick look over at the chat. Man, Iron Giant, amazing. Movie logic, Shaggy. If you abandon the bad guy at the very last moment, you get a girlfriend. Yeah. She be pink, high heels. Of course, bow. You got the bow, man. That's why Creepy Porpoise got a bow.
Phoebe Parpus says Brad Bird
High
graduated
heels.
from the same high school I did. Happy face.
Wait, what?
Brad Bird graduated from the same high school.
Oh, that's
I did.
the creepy porpoise graduated, like the one in high heels and lipstick and the bow, the porpoise.
Oh, yeah. We can
Anyway.
make that a part of the story.
Kent cared more about parades, blah, 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 yeah. Iron Giant, cuddly dog. He had a machine gun built into his face and
yeah,
lasers.
pretty much.
So yeah, that's the Iron Giant, I feel.
Yeah, that's
It was good times,
one
good
of my
storytelling.
favorites.
Just quickly, I'm going to give a quick shout out, because that's what we do for our friends.
Hey,
We shout things out.
shout things out for our friends.
If you may have known him as Bad Borkin from the TTTC
Oh, yeah.
episodes, so we'll leave his name as the final comment. His name is actually Brad Dorkin.
What? It's not
Craziness,
Bad
isn't
Borkin?
it? I was trying to cover it up, but
I
I
like
couldn't.
Bad Borkin.
We'll stick with that then.
Now people
Recently,
can find him.
he's been involved in a documentary that is up for a TVO's Doc Studio contest thingy-majiggy. I'm just going to read up the quick write-up because he sent me the whole write-up. I just want a quick summary, Brad. What are you doing? So I'm going to read a bit about this. Joe, it's called Joe, this documentary. A short documentary film has been selected as one of 5 finalists in TVO's Doc Studio contest. The film was directed by Ryerson University alumni Richard Williamson and Patrick, we got a blob on my screen, Collins, as well as produced by film and journalism alumni Brad Dorkin, aka Bad Borkin, and Shasha Nakai. Sorry if I mispronounced it. I'm not used to the name.
That sounds like a...
Respectively. It focuses on Joe, a Toronto musician struggling with severe anxiety.
Aw.
Let's read it quick about that. At 25, Giuseppe Joe Gristo was a promising musician-songwriter, giving up an ordinary life in favor of his passion, which I'm pretty sure we all like doing. Giving up things and having passion. I gave up lucrative jobs for my love of work and animation of motion graphics. It's actually, that was the only job I had. It was actually pretty lucrative. I didn't give up nothing. Because I stay true to the cause. I want to be creative stuff from the beginning. I never want to be that guy who like is 40 and is like, I never professed in the banjo, and then all of a sudden changes then and there and starts playing the banjo in the subway.
I very much believe in the power of now.
I want to start now. Why play the banjo later? I should play it now. Anyway, sorry, I got off topic. Joe was a promising songwriter, giving up an ordinary life in favor of his passion. He spent his days writing and recording songs, dreaming of becoming a rock star. Now 33, Joe battles day to day with severe anxiety disorder and an ever-growing dependency on prescription medicine. The film profiles Joe as he comes to grips with missed opportunities and shares his hopes in realizing his dreams before it's too late.
God, that sounds so sad.
There's a bunch of stuff about filmmaker bios. So basically, look up the documentary Joe. I suppose I don't have any links on this thing, but it looks of it. Oh, wait. No. Okay. So look up TVO's Doc Studio Contest. There's like 3 final videos, and give a little vote for Joe. And my buddy Bad Borkin will have an extra skip in his step for every vote. So just do that. Doesn't take anything to sign up.
Before you know it, he'll be on the moon.
He'll have a tap dance on the moon, he will. Him and the Martians. No.
Motions.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Martians are from Mars. It's stupid. Where are the aliens from Uranus? Buttholes. That's the worst invasion ever. Invasion of the buttholes. Orson Welles could read that for me and be like, I came.
That voice.
The buttholes showed up at my door. Oh no. And now back to the ragtime music.
Why?
We interrupt this recording to bring you a news reporting about the buttholes.
Stop it. I should not be laughing so hard. I am a mature adult.
Goes to show storytelling doesn't involve maturity. Oh, mercy. So check that out. Check out Joe, TVO. It rhymes, so you should be able to remember that. Give it a vote. Look at me. We're just about over the hour. Is there anything else we want to talk about while we're here? We're having such a good time. Here we thought you were on like 2 hours of sleep. Kitty's is up and going.
Well, it's sleeping on bed.
Chris the host, I had the buttholes invading.
Not currently, but
Chris, that's your next story for. I want you to write Invasion of the Buttholes. Thank you.
That's a PG-rated, family-friendly film.
And have someone get a bump in. One of the buttholes gets a bump in the head.
And there has to be a pink one that has a bow.
And in the end, his psychic butthole has a girl butthole show up. That sounds weird. And there's a bow.
It's really strange.
And he has a catchphrase like "Va-va boom."
And he wears sunglasses.
Yeah. Make it like Overboard.
Well, there's a big song at the end. And then everybody has to do a remix.
Take everything you learned from today. So either go for the good, the Brad Bird, or the bad, everything else we talked about.
The good, the Brad Bird, or the ugly. Oh no, wait! But
No, Brad Bird's the good.
Bad, he's the good.
It's the Brad, the bad,
the
and
Brad,
the butthole. Actually, since we talked about two Brads in this episode, we could call it that. The Brad, the bad, and the butthole.
I don't know if I want like that title.
On your
in our
Twitter.
faces, like,
Representative from like Pixar is
and
like,
then
oh, I
Bob's
like your work,
what
and
is this?
huh. Hey Brad, did you hear about this? TED Talk.
Yeah.
Dum. My philosophy is simple. It's called the Brad, the bad, and the butthole. TED Talk. Dum. Oh, immaturity is wasted on the youth. Let's quickly take a look, see what else I want to bring up quickly.
Nothing going on the Twitter.
Is there nothing on Twitter?
Nothing on the Twitter.
Fluxfox says, lol. I'm happy with that. If you're happy, I'm happy.
We're having a good time. We're having a
We're all
good time.
happy. Overtired, everything's hilarious, isn't this? Of course.
Everything's
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I want to bring up, or should I save it for next time?
Yeah, get it off your chest.
Okay. Let's see what I brought.
What we got? We got a thing?
So I borrowed this from Katie, the critic. Who remembers this
I
show?
think that was Cherries.
Produced by the same guys behind Simpsons. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen it,
Okay.
but go ahead and spoil.
Nothing really to spoil. I watched this more as a fascination of a time capsule more than like an enjoyable show. It's hard. It's kind of hard to explain, but
a moment in time.
it's a very dated show, which is surprising because Simpsons you can watch at any time
But
and
it's
still
based
enjoy
on
it.
Family,
King of the Hill you can watch all the time.
based on family and friends and weirdness.
But the problem is, I guess, because the critic is very, it's going to be making fun of contemporary movies, and I feel like every joke in this, and it's not its fault, it's because it's an older viewing, I've seen a billion times. Every other episode there's an Arnold Schwarzenegger joke, or a Hannibal joke, and it's like, it's weird, because I kept watching, and I'm not criticizing just to like hate on it, but like I notably like, maybe like laughed out loud like 3 or 4 times per episode or something like that. So it's got subtle humor that's funny. It has the funniest character in the whole show actually is like the boss of Jay Sherman here, guy with the mustache who owns a TV studio. He just says weird stuff. He's got a great voice. I don't know who he's cast by, and I don't know. It's just a weird show when you watch it because you're like that happened.
I find
some things just don't grow with age.
you
Let's put it
know,
that way.
I've noticed that, and Jerry and I were watching some of the new Futuramas on Netflix,
Oh,
and
yeah?
for the most part, I really like it a lot. But there were some name-dropping jokes that I didn't know the names.
Yeah.
It was supposed to make it like reference. There was like I think a Rihanna joke maybe, or
Maybe.
like some film star. I'm like, why would you make that? Like,
That's the problem with a lot of
'Cause, like,
things. Like
I don't know.
Family Guy kind of walks a weird line because sometimes it can do a reference but still do it funny enough that you don't have to get it. Simpsons did a lot more of that filmically, not really name dropping. I find
Yeah.
where Simpsons started dropping
I
the
guess
ball
I'm just
itself
not name drop
was when they started
fan.
relying on name dropping and reference dropping as opposed to just being funny.
Well, it's like that's like a something, and it's like
Yeah.
some slam against like a actor or
The
something. But it's
pro-
like people, will they get this?
The problem with name dropping humor
Like
is
10
it's
years?
very contemporary and it's only funny if you know the backstory of it. And there's a hard line to walk that a lot of shows do. Like I find Big Bang Theory tries to be very broad, so its name dropping and references are going to be so simple that it's like Star Trek, but
I like it because
you know.
I like that it gives
So
our
it's gonna be-
relatives who aren't necessarily into nerd culture
Great.
a window to talk
Great.
to us
Excellent.
about things. Where it's like, oh, okay, you get that.
it's like, oh, you like magic cards. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's?
That Comic-Con looks so charming.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
It's silly and stuff, but I find like it's extremely broad because of that versus other shows that get all the big laughs at the moment for being very contemporary and referential.
Mm-hmm.
But then, this came out in like the 90s, and half the jokes I'm just like, eh.
Yeah,
I still enjoyed it.
I guess it's
but
whether you want to create. It's if you're going to create something in a modern. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a place for all
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it. You know?
Well,
You
yeah,
put
it's
something
like,
in the now
are you
and everybody
gonna-
jumps on it like a meme or something.
You're not gonna buy like your political cartoons and be like, ah, like reading
Yeah.
2001's political cartoons. You're like, I get it.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's a good point.
it's gonna be very contemporary. So if your goal is to make a
Okay.
contemporary show,
Maybe it's also like like a gossip mags and stuff like that. It's like you're not
Maybe.
gonna buy like through the '80s all these things about celebrities from back in the day. So you wanna know
download
what's going on
all the
now.
old classics,
Yeah,
your
you
favorite
want
gossip.
to be up to date on what's happening now.
It's like,
so
huh.
it's like
Yeah.
But the thing with cartoons too is it's like how long it takes it to come out. It's like this reference is already kind of
Well, that's the thing.
done.
South Park, like they have a crazy schedule. Within a week, they make a new episode,
Those
and their
guys
stuff is so on the
pretty
ball.
amazing.
I'm surprised they haven't all just burnt out. But it's like they have such a turnover. But because of their reliance, I don't think South Park ever was really heavy on name dropping. Because at least if they have a referential character, they're funny enough. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to know who Phil Collins is, but his character
the
being like,
character's so
"I
weird."
wrote this song," and you're like, "All right,"
Yeah, that
you
makes
get
it
into
funny.
it. Versus this, which is like it's a bland Arnold impersonation. It's just like Arnold sings in this scene. I'll show it to you. Dreidel, dreidel, and you're like, all right.
But you know what, at the time that
it's
might have
Arnold.
been, like,
At the time, it
so
would have been
out of-
he
out of-
friggin' hilarious.
But I mean, not everything's meant to last forever.
No.
So
So like there you
sometimes
go.
it's
Like
just
that's
very-
basically the biggest thing I can say against it. For it though, if you ever watch it, it's actually really interesting to see. It is a very animators show. Compared to The Simpsons and Family Guy, there is so much fluidity and motion in all the characters.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they are very animated. Which is surprising for like a prime time series. Like King of the Hill and Simpsons tend to be fairly stagnant.
They're
Like you can leave a character in a
pretty
stationary position and move their mouths,
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera, and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the dialogue. But this, they really have a lot of like expressive, big movements, which surprised me. That's about it. Like it's an interesting watch. So check it out. Like Duckman, which
Yeah.
from a similar era, holds up better because it's a little more crass and over the
And
top
it's
and
weird. Well, it's
funny.
like I said, it's different things for different times. Because I remember as a kid, Duckman looked so ugly.
I didn't like
horrible,
Duckman as a
didn't
kid
wanna
either.
watch
Yeah, it was just
It just looked
unappealing.
gross.
It was like Rugrats. It didn't look good.
Yeah.
I don't know why kids ever liked Rugrats.
But then I think watching it later, there was some humor there that I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's actually really fun.
Duckman's actually a lot funnier now that I watch it again. The same as like I have these examples for certain shows, like the turnover between watching undergrads in high school and undergrads after being in university.
God about that show.
It is so much funnier now that I know what it's referencing. Because as a kid,
Yeah.
it's like mature humor.
Well, it's
but
like a
you go through university, and you're like, this is all real.
Yeah.
These characters exist. It's more like a commentary on your life versus a commentary on something you haven't
I think it's
experienced.
like there's different stories for different stages of
Hmm.
your life, and story is a way of interpreting the world around us. So there's
Yeah.
going to be different things that work, and this was kind of something that was for a moment in time,
Yeah.
based on movies.
90s
so,
movies.
Yeah. so
Political cultures, a lot
if
of
you're-
like
if you're-
Castro jokes,
yeah,
and you're
if
like,
you're
all
a
right.
90s,
I guess.
buff, then this is the movie for you.
A lot of good voice actors in it too. A lot of The Simpsons. Hank, not Hank
Azaria?
Azaria. Who's Homer? Dan Castellaneta, is it?
Uh,
He's like just about
Yeah.
every other character. Jay Sherman, of course. Where's his name? John Lovitz is fun. Good voice.
yeah, he's got a good voice.
The kid. I still gotta figure out who's the actual voice. Do you know who did Phil and Lil? Was that Nancy Kerrigan, like Bart Simpson? Because I think she does a bunch of voices.
Maybe.
Oh no, I'm not sure. Actually, maybe not. Anyway, either way, there's a lot of great voice actors in
Tress
this.
MacNeil.
Tress MacNeil's not as prominent in this, but I think she's in it. And of course, we've got the great Maurice LaMarche, who every opportunity to do impression of Orson
Yeah,
Welles
he's
or
like the go-to guy. for
is
Orson
in
Welles
this. He's in this a few times doing that. Very good. They also do like a bunch of impressions of who's the other guy who mixed Orson Welles up with? Who's the Godfather?
Oh, oh, wait.
I keep mixing those two up for some
You're
reason.
thinking, gosh, it's there. Let's see if I can get to it before the chat gets to it. Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando, yeah. So there's a lot of Marlon Brando jokes too, and it's always like putting him in weird situations, like he's wearing a bunny costume. He's like, "Why put me in this?" And you're like, "All right, it's a show for its time." Creepy Forbes was saying Tara Strong, I think.
Let's watch
Riku
this
from
cat
Raven from
sushi.
Teen Titans. There's a lot of just adorable voice actors out there. Between My
Oh
Little
gosh,
Ponies, Teen Titans,
yes.
Adventure Time, like
Cutest voices.
Starfire and the Princess Bubblegum, I believe, are the same. And
Yeah.
I just love her
And
voice.
she's like in ponies.
Yeah, somewhere. And like
Or in cute.
Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls is not the crazier characters though. I think she's
the
Twilight
crazy
Sparkle,
one.
isn't she?
She's Twilight Sparkle, and I think she is Crazy Pinkie Pie.
Is she Pinkie Pie? I thought someone else was Pinkie Pie this time. Like she let the crazy go somewhere else.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. That's the critic. Complete season.
We'll just find out
3 discs. Check it out. Borrow it from Jerry. Jerry, you want us back? Here you go.
No.
You don't want it back?
It's yours. Borrow
Can we
from
give it
Shaggy.
away?
The winner of your
life.
contest!
Gets a copy of. Do you just not want
Okay,
this?
I will probably never watch it.
Yeah, okay, well, let's make it the winner of your contest. Wins this season of your TVC contest.
We'll figure something out. Well, because I had prizes for those contests. I have to go over that again.
We'll have a gift bag of just like all
We're gonna start assembling all the DVDs Jerry doesn't want.
You know what, we're gonna
I just forgot I owned it.
yeah.
I think Katie, you should watch a bit of it first though.
Okay.
Just to be like, he was right.
We'll give away what is it?
What else do you want to give away?
The ultimate ultimates.
Oh, you don't want ultimates?
Well, I mean, like you were kind of. I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, read it.
Then we can give.
We should give away everything we don't want anymore.
Yeah, I think we should like simply.
As prizes. We'll figure that out later. Don't worry about it.
This is our 100th episode.
25th anniversary episode. Last thing we're gonna go over. So Katie lent me Parker.
Oh yeah.
By Richard Starks, who also draws really cute.
No, he's not the artist.
Nope. Help me out here.
Darwin Cook.
Darwin Cook, who draws really cute characters like.
He's got like a.
He does.
Bruce Timm kind of.
Why can't I? Wonder Woman. He has like a cute Wonder Woman drawing he does, and they're like, yeah, it's Wonder Woman. So interesting story.
I gotta say, I don't really remember the story too much.
Yeah.
But I remember the art.
Here's the thing.
And Jerry.
The art's great. Story's like interesting.
Well, because even some stuff was confusing. I think. With,
Yeah.
Like which character is that? And is that guy dead? And...
My problem with this is the dude is angry through the whole book, which is cool. But like eventually you get tired of being angry. Like it's always like every page and every other page, and he's always on revenge and stuff. You're like, dude, how can you be on revenge forever?
Well.
And the more baffling part is whenever like he gets women, I'm like, who's attracted to?
Lots of women are attracted.
Like he's
to that.
sitting at the coffee shop and he's just like,
Look, yeah.
and someone's gonna be like, hey stranger, what are you pondering about? He's like, And you're like, stop being angry.
I guess because there's never any charm or like warmth.
Like he's angry when he's happy. He's not happy.
Does he get women though, or is it just like that one?
Yeah, he always has
history
women.
with?
No, well, he had the one he has history with, and then he has another one who's like, oh, I haven't seen you for a while. I was like,
Well, then there's history.
and then
there.
later on, he meets up with a new girl, and she's like, I have another name. We don't want to know it. I'm like, why was he appealing at all?
Some people like the danger.
Yeah, of course. Danger of
I
a
love
grumpy.
how this is like,
Danger of a grumpy evening.
I love how this is like you're like the expert on like
What?
really like what the lady was in the like story. It's like, well, why are you interested in this guy?
All right. From what I've learned from stupid kids movies,
Some ladies just want to go to the bar and
angry
pick up
guys,
the grumpy guy.
women like irritating
Not
sidekicks
women, some ladies.
and grumpy revenge bent
There's a
jerks.
guy for everyone. There's a lady for every guy.
Or 3 apparently.
with a bow and
Line up.
pink shoes.
Bah. Parker was interesting narrative. Like I enjoyed going through it. The art's really good. I enjoyed the art. It's excellent. It's fun. It's like
See, I was about to make a James Bond comparison, but I think he's really charming.
no, James Bond at least smiles once in a while. Like
Yeah.
if this guy's at the poker table, he'd be like, you're like, this isn't fun anymore. I don't want to play poker with Parker.
Yeah.
And it's like versus Bond, who's like, I might have the cards, I might not. It's like, ooh, let's keep playing and see where this
that's true.
goes. You know, it's just.
Bond is charming.
But that's the story they set out to write. So it's like a revenge story. Check it out, Parker by Richard Starks and Darwin Cook. Nothing wrong with the story. It's just, I find him just too angry. Always angry. I don't say he has to smile, but like raise those brows, buddy. Look, he just washed his face and he's angry.
He's got a lot to be mad about.
Angry.
It's a revenge flick.
Puts on a tie and he's angry.
You like Sin City and nobody's like,
No, Marv had a smirk at least.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right.
He's
you're
like,
right.
Goldie's dead, and then he's like, and he's at the door, and he's like, I'll open up. It was like,
And he had friends. I guess.
yeah, Marv was at least Marv was an interesting, endearing character, I
guess it's
find.
the danger of having a character that's too badass.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I think that's the problem.
You never, because if you don't
He's
turn on
too
the badass,
badass.
then it's badass is always.
You actually reminded me. There's a video going around about everyone beating up Worf. First it was everyone denying Worf. Anytime he said anything like, Captain, we should send a squad, and he's like, delay that, or no. It's basically 12 minutes of Worf getting cut off by everyone. And then there was a follow-up video about Worf getting beat up by everyone. And the problem was, what someone, it was either a comment or in the information, the problem is, Worf was kind of supposed to be a badass, right? Like, big Klingon yells, he's security guard. And so the idea is, when a regular character that you just meet, like someone who looks weak, defeats him, it's like, oh shit, he beat Worf. Worf's a badass. That guy must be even more badass. The problem was that this guy says Worf never established he was a badass, so he's constantly getting beat up the whole series and whipped around, and you're like, he's a wimp.
Like, you were the badass.
He was supposed to be, but he never proved
But
it.
he's
So
just from a
the
race
whole
of people that
series,
look like
he's constantly getting like people shooting him down and saying no Worf and silly Worf and shut up Worf.
Racial stereotype.
He's a heavy victim of everything. He gets beat up, barrels fall on him, thrown, chopped, punched, pushed, knocked over, slapped, falls over everything.
And I think that's one of the themes of the Star Trek series, where it's like, just because someone looks a certain way.
And so it's kind of setting up like, too much of a badass, and you're like, well, I got nothing to go on. So sometimes you want to have a badass, but like Marv in Sin City, there's something great about his, like, I know he does horrible shit, but there's something endearing about him too, where like he had feelings and he had like something, he had a mission.
He had something to connect to as a reader.
He wasn't just, she's dead. He was like, he said she gave a guy with my face a night, which is like for no reason, which is like more than anyone could ever, there's something about him that was very endearing, even though he's, doing horrible shit to certain people.
Yeah, I found those characters actually had interesting personalities that, again, you care about.
Yeah.
For being a thug.
Make me care is basically
that's
it.
the biggest thing.
That's the
story.
thing.
Make me care.
Make me care. So I guess I enjoyed the journey, but I didn't care about the characters. Like if Dudical here just died mid-book, I would have been like, bleh. Or if he didn't reach his goal, I'd be like, bleh.
Yeah, you wouldn't feel bad for him.
That's too bad. In reverse, you follow Blacksad, and you love the guy.
Blacksad too.
Blacksad's my favorite.
So depressed.
Book 2 was so good.
Quirky.
Did I say a swear, Chris the hostess?
I think we swear.
Is badass a swear? I don't think it's a swear anymore. Settle down, because you could put if you could put it in
an butthole 20.
If you could put it in an essay, then it people write essays about badasses all the time.
Yeah.
In school. Okay, they're about wrapping up because we've been yapping up for almost an hour and a half.
Ah, there we go.
Take it back to work. I'm gonna return this to you. Gonna throw this in the garbage. No, we're gonna let Katie watch some maybe, and then we'll auction it off or whatever. Clear out our shelf for a little spring cleaning maybe.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Surprises.
Let's go over. Anything at all?
No, I don't think so.
Actually, this went a little long. I gotta get back and make some nachos.
I gotta focus on these storyboards.
Tonight is guacamole night.
Oh, and you're doing a movie too.
Yeah. This tonight's food and film review. I'm gonna make some guacamole, which I've never made before. And of course nachos to go with it.
Which movie?
And we're gonna watch This Is Spinal Tap.
Hey.
Never seen it. Never seen it. I saw Best in Show though.
Is that with the dogs?
That was actually funnier than I thought. Like it was really really weird.
Yeah, it was an odd.
Who's in it? Eugene Levy's in it. He's pretty great in whatever he does. I enjoy Eugene Levy. So gonna see yet. Flexbox is telling me the movie goes to 11. I'm gonna find out unless I get home too late because I've been up here yapping with you guys too long.
Yeah.
Should have ended this half an hour ago.
Joke about the movie.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I'm rock and roll, Jerry. I'm down with it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's not a reference to time.
No, don't worry. Thank you, Jerry. I haven't seen it yet. The last review just uploaded to uberfriendship.com was Creme Brulee and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Check that out. We'll find out.
Like a giant spoiler right in the creme brulee.
I figure it's like The Usual Suspects DVD. You pretty much get it right off the top.
No, the thing was, I pretty much told you the ending like long ago, and when it happened in the movie, you were like, no! Like you were
still
totally
funny.
Captivated.
Yeah, no, it was still captivating, even though I knew how it was going to end.
Cared.
I enjoyed Invasion of the second one, not the original one from the Whenevers, the black and white films, the talkies. Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland and Brooke, whoever. Very good film, very tense. It does a lot of interesting stuff. It has really good camera work, really creative lighting.
I like your review, and you're like, all the Dutch angles.
Yeah.
But they're not Dutch angles.
Well, I was confused because in film speak, there's something called a Dutch tilt, which is you tilt the shot to give the feeling of unease. But the problem was, or maybe the point, this film was shot in San Francisco, so all the houses are, like the hills are all slanted anyway, so everything looked like a Dutch tilt the whole time. And I'm like,
an interesting director's choice, unless it's supposed to be
Maybe. But very good film. It still holds up today. Has a lot of interesting little acting moments too. Little subtle moments that are like, wow, that was powerful. Check it out. Some people might be bored of it, but I compared a lot to Shaun of the Dead. Very similar pace, very similar. Not comedy. But
it's the slow boil horror where it's like things are slowly kind
the
of
world
getting
is changing
bad
around the
you.
characters, and
But you've got your own
you know it,
problems.
but they don't because they have other stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, just like Shaun of the
the
Dead.
audience sees that like stuff's going on.
So really cool. How long is this movie list? Is in this? I'm not gonna read the whole list because I already did that once.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of movies. The one we did after, I haven't written the review yet, but it was Deviled Eggs and Top Gun.
Hey.
That review's gonna come up next, but tonight we're
How
gonna
were
make.
the deviled eggs? Oh, I guess I'll find out in the review.
You'll find out in the review how the Deviled Eggs matched up with Top Gun because they fight together or die alone. They are one score. They're compared. Just like all good English classes and film review courses, I review the food I make and the movie, and they all get one combined score. So we see how they compare or contrast and make a good evening out of it.
I like this.
So tonight, guacamole. Never made it before. I bought some guac. Wait, no. I
No,
bought
you're
some
supposed to get avocados.
avocados. That would have been horrible. A lot of the recipes online are like, oh, just get avocados and
It's
a salsa.
avocado
I'm
and-
like, oh, no. We're going from scratch
Yeah,
here.
we do it here with like a tomato and
So I got
onion.
start with a C. It's greens, plants.
Oh, cilantro.
There you go. Cilantro. How do you deal with the cilantro? How much of it? Because I got a big
Chop it.
bushel of it.
You buy it in bushels because there's not much to do with it.
Yeah.
It's more garnish. I don't love it, but it's good in bits.
Do you
but
not use the stems? You just use the leaves?
the leaves? Yeah.
And you chop it
Chop
thin?
out the leaves and then just.
Okay. And then I bought a lemon because I couldn't find lemon juice. Do you have a lemon squeezer here?
I just cut it in half.
Damn it. I bought tomato.
You think I'm a billionaire?
I bought some chips. I bought some cheese. I was gonna get block cheese, but then I found out the shredded was cheaper. I'm like, bleh.
There we go.
And I got more for it. So I'm like, bleh. What else? Oh, I'm making my special. What I like to make is. Sorry, I'm stretching this episode out. I melt cream cheese in the microwave, and then I get some onion powder, and that's my dip for nachos. It's actually really nice.
Oh
really,
yeah,
really
you
nice.
used to do that all the time at the house.
Yes. What else do
We
I
all
have?
used to live under the same roof.
Yeah, long ago. And also got sour cream. So, hopefully it's going to be good. Hopefully I enjoy Spinal Tap as much as everyone says. Maybe. Does it hold up with time? We'll see. Some things do. Some things, I don't know where you put the critic. Some things don't.
It didn't hold up.
Didn't hold up. We'll see how Spinal Tap holds up in
Time
today's
to show.
audience. Maybe I'll have to watch it as a time capsule, or maybe it'll be equally as hilarious now. Because Maltese Falcon didn't hold up. That was crap. Sorry. Sorry, calls as I sees it. Boring!
I want to see you do like Citizen Kane and get your feedback on that.
I'm curious. I might
Citizen
enjoy.
Kane and s'mores or something.
Maybe. I'm running out of food
That
to
means
make,
you have
though.
to make marshmallows from scratch.
Maybe. I'm running out of
Rosebuds.
rosebuds.
Oh, the chocolates.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like me trying to be smart then.
Yeah. The whole point
I didn't-
is that
I didn't
you're-
make, like-
You're supposed to think really hard if there is.
I didn't make like
connection, and then realize
sausages
it
while
isn't.
watching Top Gun, so I don't know why.
Maybe Brussels sprouts for
Let's see if you got that. Just let it sink in. All right, well, that's all for this immaturity, I think. I gotta go make
Yeah.
some food and watch some Spinal Tap. We're all gonna crank it up to 11.
Yep.
You guys can crank it up to 7:30. A time, Jerry.
902?
Was a reference to you, you jerk. 7:30 next week, Wednesday, every Wednesday, 7:30. The book, of course, that we made that, unlike me hating everything, everyone's loving this.
Yeah, we're getting such nice reviews.
All positive reviews. Check out
And
the
it's
website.
timeless.
It's a timeless story. Like, then
You could read this in 100 years and it'll still hold up.
I don't see no references. What's it? Oh, makes sense to me. Silly Kingdom, Alan Grimrickshaw's 211th birthday. Our premiere book, you can check it out at sillykingdom-comic.blogspot.com. Working on the new site, as I say all the time.
We have the URL, we just need the time to make the
Yeah,
website.
indeed.
So, yeah.
Go there, you can get the book, PDF, $4.
Fluxbox says it holds up.
Oh,
You
holds
know,
up. Dude,
Fluxbox.
this thing came out in October. It still holds up. What? Nothing else can say that. PDF. Digital. You can share it with your friends if you have to. Just tell them to buy their own copy afterwards. It'll help us out.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt us too much. You just want to spread
You know,
the,
spread
the
love.
love.
Spread love. You know what I'm saying? Printed book copy.
Spread the love, but when we're homeless, we get to live on your couch.
True say. $10 for the printed book copy, and then you can like bring it to your English class and be like, check it. No references. It's timeless. And they'll be like, you're right. A plus. Chris the host. A plus indeed. What else is going on? Check out Katie's Twitter at Katie Shy.
Yeah.
Check out my Twitter at Shaggy Shan.
Best place to find out what we're up to is on our Twitter.
Pretty much. Otherwise, you can also check out our websites. Katie's got a little katieshy.com going on, right?
What?
Sure.
I do. KatieShy.com is my blog.
There you go.
And I haven't been updating lately just because I'm doing boards all the time.
Indeed.
But when I get some time off.
Mine, of
More
course,
drawings.
Shaggy Shan at Twitter. I already said that. Uberfriendship.com for everything I'm up
That's
to.
right.
If you
Check
want to
out-
see reviews, videos.
And check out his new TTTC
New episode of Talking to the Camera. Go to
Just get an
Shaggy
idea of the
Shan.
fun stuff that happens in the
Yeah.
family.
If you wonder what we've
A
been
little
wasting
bit of our
time on last
daily-
year,
yeah.
go to Shaggy Shan on YouTube, or you can go to uberfriendship.com, and most recent videos are often posted there too. There's also reviews and articles from other contributors. You can check out Graham's Grumbles on Tuesdays when he
Yes.
grumbles on about video games, comics, and movies.
You think this guy's grouchy.
Yeah, Wednesdays is Glenn's days. I guess I'm just going to take over Thursdays because we kind of don't have Thursdays articles anymore, really.
Thursday.
And sometimes we have something on Friday as well. But stuff will be posted there. Anything recorded, any updates on podcasts and stuff, all there, uberfriendship.com. Anything else in the chat before we go? I feel like I've been neglecting you guys because we're saying all these jokes. Being immature. Mix yams into your salsa. Huh.
I don't know about that.
Interesting.
No, I feel like it would take away from the zing.
Yeah. It might be like, I'm eating potato,
Yeah.
yam, or Chad's weight gain bars.
Marshmallows?
There's a reference for you guys.
Creepy porpoise. Yams, marshmallows, and walnuts on top. You will not regret.
We used to talk about yams a lot at the beginning of the show, didn't we?
That sounds
Whatever
pretty good,
happened to that?
marshmallows. I actually have some yams.
We gotta start bringing the yam back. Yams and marshmallows? What?
Yeah, yam, marshmallow, and walnuts.
Oh, where do you get walnuts?
Store.
Okay. With that, I think we can cut this show.
I think so.
You ready?
All right.
Ready to see if you can shut it down?
Stop recording. Stop broadcast. Stop broadcast. Stop recording.
I don't know, because then that means we have like 3 seconds of nothing happening. So we can stop recording so like the people who missed the show,
Okay, and
the
then
show
we'll have
ends.
a super secret extra
Oh,
special
we're
stuff
gonna have a
for
super
anyone who's
secret
not-
special message.
Okay, so the people watching.
If you're watching not live, you're missing
Yeah.
out. See you later.
Bye. Wait.